Hi guys, welcome back. So today we're gonna do a little video, a compilation of sorts of Tiffany Henyard basically eating crows, sticking her foot in her mouth, contradicting herself, whatever you want to call it. We know there are multiple examples of her doing this, right? Because as a trustee, she would often take a stance like she was there for the residents. But those of you who have been following the story long enough knows that once she became mayor, everything she said she stood for as a trustee went totally out the window. So for those of you who are completely new to this situation, Tiffany Henyard was the mayor of Dolton, Illinois, and the supervisor of Thornton Township. She ultimately got booted out of both of these positions due to multiple controversies and allegations of misappropriation of government funding. Now, those are still allegations, and she has not been charged with anything as of yet. But you guys, I want to hear from you. Let me know if you feel she's going to have to eventually answer to some of these things that she's been accused of, or is she going to get off scot-free? So I know that that's what you guys are commenting on. Go ahead and leave a police emoji down there if you feel like she's going to go to jail, and then leave a bird emoji if you feel like she's going to be free as a bird. Before we get started, if you're new here and like what you hear, please leave this video a like, and if you're a returning subscriber, please remember to leave it a like as well. Let's start the show.
I want people to know that I am history.
Decision day in the village of Dolton, with senior trustee Jason House and his Clean House 2025 slate victorious in the Democratic primary for mayor.
We aim to work under this administration to clean house, and soon we will be cleaning house.
House's team declared victory shortly before 7:30.
Transparency starts today. It's a mandate. The community has demanded it. We're up for the challenge.
I'm excited. I can't wait till the results come in this evening. I'm going to come in by a landslide, and when I do, the people will speak.
Incumbent Tiffany Henyard garnered 12% of the vote, while House garnered 87%.
I'm going to come in by a landslide.
It was a landslide victory for Jason House there, who easily won that mayoral race tonight by more than 3,000 votes. You'll notice incumbent Tiffany Henyard was not even on the ballot.
And then you, trustee House, that would never won if you ran.
The sign outside of Dolton Village Hall announcing Mayor Tiffany Henyard will soon come down. Voters overwhelmingly decided they wanted change. That change came with Jason House winning Tuesday night with 95% of the vote.
And soon we will be cleaning house.
Attacking me, a woman that made history and earned my seat and won by 82% of the vote. So that clear as day tells you that the community wanted change, and that change is Tiffany Henyard.
She did not prevail, as you mentioned, in any of those races, and that gives indication to the voters that they wanted change.
So that clear as day tells you that the community wanted change.
I am history. And I always tell you, do your homework. You can FOIA it, you can go check it out, you can get the ordinances. That way you'll see who is doing what.
WGN is suing the village of Dolton for refusing to follow open records laws and release spending records.
You can FOIA it, you can go check it out.
Last year, WGN Investigates sent Dolton an open records request seeking copies of the agency's credit card statements, as well as records relating to Mayor Henyard's compensation and the cost of her taxpayer-funded vehicle. But Dolton has declined to release the documents. After WGN Investigates appealed, Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul's office ordered Dolton to release the records by mid-March. But that deadline came and went.
Because right now, guys, you have been hoodwinked. You've been bamboozled. You've been led astray. I got elected by the people. I represent them out there, their voice, not you. Because all my stuff was a big old smear campaign, a hate fest. That's it. Because they couldn't get me out the way because the people was always loving on me.
I didn't like seeing the disruption and change, and I wanted to go back to the way it was.
Because I've always showed up and showed out for them, despite what the fake news was telling y'all, because that's all it was. It was all just, oh, we think, or maybe. Like, come on, stop with all that. I really been doing my job, still doing my job.
It's been an embarrassment and a stain on South Holland to have South Holland continue to pop up on the news with her acting crazy, you know, in meetings and stuff like that.
So I just want you to see me as strength and be your beacon of light. I just want to say that I will forever be your mayor. I will forever be your supervisor.
WGN Investigates has learned nearly all of the money a South Suburban politician's cancer charity claims to have received in its first few months of activity came from taxpayers. It's the latest example of questionable spending by Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who also serves as Thornton Township Supervisor.
And again, I created a foundation called Tiffany Henyard Cares. Anybody that's suffering or battling cancer, please go to thcares.org to get help with wigs, chemo, a ride.
The Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation was created in the fall of 2022 and heavily promoted by Henyard. The township board she oversees gave the foundation $10,000 days after its creation. A new filing with the Illinois Attorney General says the foundation only raised $3,000 additional dollars. WGN Investigates has previously reported thousands more dollars were charged to township credit cards during the charity's walk to Springfield. Henyard tried to distance herself from the foundation in a recent interview, claiming she had no involvement in the group's activities.
What is the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation? You said it's not affiliated with you at all?
Correct.
Well, what is it?
So someone made up a foundation. They named it after me.
I created a foundation called Tiffany Henyard Cares. Anybody that's suffering or battling cancer, please go to thcares.org.
And they like my work that I do in the community, and it's called Tiffany Henyard Cares.
Have you contacted them and told them you can't use my name improperly?
Well, my lawyer's handling a lot of that stuff, so all I can tell you is that I'm not the one on anything.
Because guess what? Everybody else create foundations. Why can't we create one for our own people in our own backyard? So when you exhaust those funds, you have another option to help alleviate some of the pain.
That's the only thing I can tell you right now. So I'm just trying to answer to the.
So you're saying there's a foundation that's not registered, but it has nothing to do with you?
Correct. That's true.
Okay.
That's
so you're not aware of any of the work that they've done, money that they've raised, anything along those lines?
Correct.
Something else that I'm doing that I'm really, really big on that's dear to my heart is I'm real big on a cancer foundation. I have created Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation, and what that entails is helping everybody within the 17 municipalities with services.
There's a foundation that's not registered, but it has nothing to do with you?
Correct. That's true.
Okay.
That's
so you're not aware of any of the work that they've done, money that they've raised, anything along those lines?
Correct.
The supervisor seems to think giving parties and bingos that is going to win us over.
Including the big bingo. I can't stress big bingo enough, man. Everybody be down here. There's over 500 people that come down here and be a part of that movie. People win air fryers, Keurigs, they won TVs, refrigerators, stoves, what else they win? Washer dryers, you name it, it was down here.
And we got to stay focused on what's really happening. They're trying to hide all the money that's being stolen. And I'm a breast cancer survivor, and I was appalled when they came out with this fake charity, because I know how it is when you're trying to look for help when you have cancer. And I just felt that that was the lowest thing that she could ever do, is to go against people that are battling cancer.
The Attorney General has ordered the foundation to stop soliciting money because it still hasn't submitted tax filings to show how it spent money.
Because I know what we went through, meaning my family, when my mom had cancer.
And I feel that they need to get that money back to the township.
Well, services and resources, such as if you need help paying for chemo, radiation, your medicine, your wigs, your prosthetic, your breasts, things of that nature, even helping you with housing. Because I know firsthand how that feels to just not have help when my mom had breast cancer. So I want to make sure that I put that out there to the public and to everybody, that it goes to any 17 municipality. You cannot live in Chicago to benefit from this foundation. It's strictly for people that live in the 17 communities.
That was illegal, and that attorney that's sitting next to her allowed her to do that, the Delgado group, knowing that was illegal for them to be giving her private fake charity money. We need our money back.
One person is getting away with doing crazy stuff to an entire community, and then now an entire township. What she does during public comment is she'll just put her head down and she won't listen to anything. She won't acknowledge anything.
And we're not going to take anybody intimidating us or anything. I've had Kamal Woods walk past me and say some slick stuff.
Where you put put it out there on the news, y'all dead wrong. Some of y'all over there that's recording, y'all black. Remember that. Remember you black. It's the first thing you talk. Don't never forget you black.
Y'all should be ashamed of y'allself. Y'all black. Y'all are black.
You ain't gotta hide. You from Harvey, right? You know what happened. Tell them the truth. You don't know how it feels to get beat down every day, 365 days out of the year. She gonna outwork you. She gonna outwork you. She gonna outwork you. You gonna keep chasing her. You gonna keep following the story. You gonna keep following the story. That's your job. Her job is to take care of the community. It started right here in this room. That's right. In 2021, the dream began to revitalize Dolton. To revitalize Dolton, it started right here, in this room. In this room. You want to know the real story? Like she said, if you want the tea, get it from me. Get it from her. Go to her. If you're worth talking to, I see you. You looking dead at me. I see you. You part of the problem. You gonna tell the truth, tell the truth. It ain't no guy, it's a lady. You part of the problem. You part of the problem. I'm talking to you.
But baby, you're not gonna scare me, you're not gonna intimidate me because I have a voice. And you gotta understand, this woman has destroyed Dolton. So, and I'm gonna tell you something, she cannot be the best in Thornton Township and then destroy a whole village in Dolton. And the same thing is happening over here, is happening in Dolton. Happened in Dolton is happening here now. They're not being transparent. They don't want to tell you. They got Robert Hunt in the front cooking the books, lying to you people, saying that we're not in a raid. That is a lie.
I want people to show you where the deficit is in the village of Dolton, because there's no deficit in the village of Dolton.
As of May 30th of this year, the village's general fund was in a net deficit position, meaning that there is insufficient funds in that general fund.
It got nothing to do with no deficit. It got nothing to do with we don't have the money, because we do.
Next, you can see is a graphic that depicts where we started as of April, where the village started as of April of 22, with positive of $5.6 million in the general fund, and where we are as of May of 2024, which is a negative $3.65 million.
No one have ever said, hey, this is where we have a deficit. This is where this is wrong.
Over the last 3 fiscal years, the average monthly expenditures of the village have increased by nearly 30%. As you can see in the graphic, in fiscal year 2022, on average, the village spent about $1.9 million a month. But in the last fiscal year, that amount had climbed to $2.5 million.
That's all false. People can write narratives about me, write stories about me all day long. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, what matters is what I'm doing within my dash while I'm here on this earth. Everybody here hates us. Jesus Christ here hates us.
These increasing expenditures have not been accompanied by corresponding increases in revenue. Again, as you see in the graph on the blue bars, the revenues have remained relatively the same over that time period, just over $24 million, while expenditures have climbed from $23 million in 2022 to $30 million in 2024.
I always go get the money, bring it back. And in the history ever of any supervisor, of any mayor, I bought the most money back for a city/village or for a township. I was awarded that type of money. So 9.2 for the township, 6.8 for the village of Dolton.
Ultimately, in fiscal years 2023 and 2024, expenditures exceeded revenue. Specifically in 2024, it was over $5 million more in expenditures than revenues.
And I'm coined as the super mayor because I always put up and show out for you. I always go get the money, bring it back. I'm gonna keep on fighting this fight because at the end of the day, this is a fight between good and evil. And right now, good is prevailing and we are winning despite what people may say or think or write. Before you place judgment, always know the facts. Just think about it. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, right? It ain't said it wasn't gonna prosper, huh? Keep on trying to educate y'all. And that's what you see me doing right here today. Still trying to educate y'all. Say, neighbor, I love you. That's what I'm talking about in the back. And ain't nothing you can do about it. Still trying to put y'all on the game. Because remember, they always say what? The game is sold, not told.
I am a walking billboard as it relates to our community.
Okay, so if you've driven one of the expressways in the south suburbs recently, you've no doubt seen one of these giant billboards. They feature the name and the face of a smiling local politician. What you may not know is the money for these billboards is coming out of taxpayers' pockets, and that's raising questions for Tiffany Henyard, the Dolton mayor and Thornton Township supervisor, who has already come under fire for spending public money promoting herself.
I am a walking billboard as it relates to our community.
Take a drive to the south suburbs and you can't miss them. 4 giant billboards featuring Tiffany Henyard's name in large letters, along with her picture, smiling down on the thousands of cars going by on Interstate 57 and the Bishop Ford Expressway. What are they advertising? One says fresh produce, another senior services, and this one simply says we offer general assistance. We showed the billboards to Bert Odelson, an election attorney who's been working in Illinois politics for 50 years.
When I first looked at it, I thought, what is she running for now?
He says they're essentially campaign ads.
This is a blatant attempt to promote herself politically. The township should not have paid for these if they did, and I'm sure they did.
They did indeed. Bills obtained by Fox 32 under open records laws shows Thornton Township paid more than $10,000 for the vinyl signs themselves and more than $12,000 to Clear Channel Outdoor Advertising for 1 month's rental of the billboards.
You bringing it up again, so most definitely I'm in support of this. But again, as always, I want to see them prices cut, whether we find another sponsor to do so or you basically shop it out to make sure we get the best price.
And you can't turn your head in Dolton or Thornton Township without seeing Henyard's picture or name. It's on all the government-owned vehicles, buildings, even on the rugs in the township, where we found a Tiffany Henyard 2024 calendar featuring all the important dates to remember, including her birthday.
Trustee Tammy Brown says the banners were never approved by the village board.
They don't make any sense at all. They're all of the mayor. It's okay to have a banner that says welcome to Dolton, but you don't need to have the mayor's face posted throughout Sibley Boulevard.
The banners cost about $19,000.
Because $19,000 for, you say, 250 signs? That's a lot.
But the vendor says they have yet to be paid for them and other items totaling more than $85,000.
You guys elected me to protect your money. That's what Tiffany does. Trustee Henyard, I protect the people's dollar.
Yes, Erica, I'm at the victory party for the 2 people who ran against Tiffany Henyard in both of her positions as mayor and also as Thornton supervisor. House now has the task of getting Dolton back on track, starting with trying to get the village out of the red.
We're going to make sure that we do the most intelligent things in common sense. We're not wasting money on security details.
You want to make sure that there's not what we call rogue spending going on.
Henyard and her allies spent thousands on everything from steak dinners to hotels and what appeared to be first-class airfare.
Because when the hate don't work, they start telling lies. And that's what this Board of Trustees have done.
You throw out all these shots and all these dishes, and then you expect us to want to work with you. Yes, we want to work with you. If we didn't want to work with you, we wouldn't have passed the 98% of the budget that you proposed.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Nobody told her to get on TV and lie like that. Blatant lies. Did you spend this on a credit card? No, sir.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas?
From Vegas to Chicago, I rode around in Tahoe.
These are easily verifiable lies. That's unacceptable.
What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
I don't know where they got that from. That's unexcusable. And she's gonna say everybody's lying. They do have it. The Attorney General's asking for credit card receipts. I guess the Attorney General was lying too.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
So this is where we're at in the village. It's self-accountability, and the mayor can blame everybody.
They the one creating the deficit. They the one not paying vendors, as you hear them all get up here and say.
but everybody pointing the finger up here, but it's really them. And that's why I'm bringing it up, because I need people to wake up and pay attention, because that's who's wasting your money. That's where the deficit come from, the trustees.
We wouldn't have passed $15,000 on inauguration that you spent. So you just say all these things and you put the stuff out here in this, you did overspend the budget. $15,000 that was on inauguration. So I'm just saying this is the truth that we're dealing with.
And it said that we are at this point because majority of them ran on my ticket. And when they ran on my ticket, they got their seat. It was to follow the mayor's vision.
We're not even going to mention the $1,500 to $2,000 gets spent on the security detail, on the block that you live on. All that stuff is reality.
But when we asked Henyard a few months ago about her use of tax dollars, she was quickly hustled out of the room by armed security. And on Facebook, in videos posted by Henyard herself, we see her being driven around and surrounded by Dolton officers, which got us to wondering, why all the cops?
We weren't opposed to her having the security detail. We asked how long and how often.
We needed those officers to be on the street fighting crime. And instead, we have several officers that are riding around protecting the mayor.
Dolton trustee Brittany Norwood says Henyard began assembling her details shortly after being elected in 2021, using hand-picked Dolton police officers.
The manpower was just very stressed and critical to the point of almost breaking.
Former Dolton Police Chief Robert Collins spoke to us from Florida, where he's taken a new job after being fired by Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard late last year. But Collins says he remains frustrated by what he experienced leading an undermanned, overworked police department. Using a Freedom of Information request, we obtained the work records for 6 of the officers assigned to Henyard's security detail at various times and showed them to some of Dolton's trustees.
This is a Freedom of Information request we did to see how much overtime these officers are making on her security detail.
Oh, wow. 162 hours.
162. Well, that's nothing. What goes through your mind when you see these numbers?
It's disappointing. It's frustrating.
The officers are paid every 2 weeks, which without overtime is 80 hours. But when they're put on Henyard's detail, that 80 hours balloons to well over 100 hours.
Wrong is wrong, and there's a time to hold people responsible and accountable for their actions.
And in the case of Officer Terry Young last May, 303 hours worked over a 2-week period. That resulted in a single paycheck of more than $13,000.
How does a person put in a 2-week pay period, 303 hours? That's impossible. That's impossible.
It's 336
Does he
hours.
never go to sleep?
But at some point, there would be 2 officers or 3 officers. And depending on if there was some type of event, it would be more officers.
That's for a town of a little more than 20,000 people that's struggling economically and usually only has a few officers on duty per shift. Collins says Henyard's security detail was warranted when it started in 2021 after a police-involved shooting sparked protests and threats.
And at some point, the protests stopped. However, the detail continued.
And it grew in size and scope. Collins says Henyard frequently uses the officers as her personal valets.
Officers would be sent out to run errands, to do pickups.
And now that I am in the seat, people have their own hidden agenda, own hidden alternative to basically do what they are doing now.
I thought you were a trustee for 8 years. You would know that. I told you this when we talked. I thought you would understand what we're dealing with, and we're looking at you the same way. You did the same things. So was it wrong when you did it?
This warrant list right here is $1.3 million of money that the board saw some of it and sit in half of it. We don't even know what happened. So that's where my problem come at, because then y'all put this in front of us and want us to vote on it, but yet y'all paid them already. So please explain to me what you expect us to do if they already paid. Why are we approving something that you guys already took upon yourself to pay?
All I'm asking is that let's do that again. We've done that for the past 8 years. When you were a trustee, we would have to present the budget to the board. It wasn't on a meeting like this. It would be one meeting for the budget, and you went through every line. We're not doing that now. We're not saying we're against the budget. We're just saying be transparent with it. You go through every line item to be transparent with taxpayers' money. That's all we're asking.
That's my question, and I keep asking, who authorized this? Who? It's like everybody's scared to say the name. If the mayor authorized it, say it. If Elizabeth authorized it, say it. If Janice authorized it, say it. Who did it? That's all I want to know.
We're going to look at expenses and make sure that they're prudent, we're responsible with it.
Many of the people have been out for the majority of the night. I've seen them leave out with big smiles saying change is coming and victory was tonight. A clear indication that they were over Tiffany Henyard.
And I want people to know that no matter what you say, I will forever be in the history books. We will forever be spoken of.
Dolton wasn't even known until she became the mayor. And it's not for anything great.
Amen, Clerk Key. I couldn't have said it any better. Well, you guys, I'm going to be heading out, but before I do, I want to thank all my returning subscribers and new subscribers for helping my channel grow, coming in, leaving comments. That really helps me out in the YouTube algorithm, and I can't thank you enough. I'll see you guys next time.
you.